Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us on KREM 2 News First at 4. I'm Tom Sherry.
And I'm Whitney Ward. We're glad you're here on this Friday.
Well, we've got some breaking news for all Seahawk fans out there. ESPN now is reporting that Russell Wilson will miss at least a month as a result of that finger injury. That happened during last night's game against the LA Rams.
Yeah, so Wilson was hurt in the third quarter. His fingers hit the arm of another player on a follow-through trying to do just a pass attempt. He hurt his right middle finger. If you watched the game, you know. The Seahawks confirmed that Wilson saw a finger specialist today. ESPN's Jeremy Fowler now reporting that Wilson will miss about a month, but up to 8 weeks. What it is a ruptured middle finger tendon that will likely require surgery. So we will keep you posted, and I guess this means that Gino, the backup quarterback, is going to have a lot more face time.
I'm blaming it on the uniforms.
the action green, yeah.
And that whole debacle last night.
Yes, I agree with that.
All right, it has been 1 month now since Spokane police temporarily eliminated their traffic unit because of staffing shortages, and many in the city say it's starting to have an impact.
Yeah, neighborhood activists say the change is making their communities unsafe, and they want police to get back to enforcing the speed limit. KREM 2's Amanda Rowley explains, though, why SPD might have to find some other solutions. Amanda?
Good evening. So if you stand right here near the Grand Avenue speed radar next to Manitou Park, it won't take long for you to notice it to change right down to slow down. And I've seen that for a lot of traffic that's been coming through this area today. Spokane neighborhood council members say speeding like this in this area is a problem across the city, which is why this remains a top concern for those neighborhood councils. But especially now, as Spokane Police Department does not have enough officers to assign to traffic enforcement. Now, the department is experiencing an officer shortage. Assistant Chief Justin Lundgren says that's why they temporarily shifted their 5 only traffic officers to patrol, just to fill the need for patrol officers just for the time being. Now, that said, those patrol officers are doing traffic enforcement as they are available. Now, chair of the Manitou Cannon Hill Neighborhood Council, Mary Winkus, believes traffic cops are the best way to address the speeding.
Because they would ticket people, and once people get a solid ticket and they have to pay it, unfortunately that seems to be the reminder they need that there's a consequence. Right now there's no consequence until they do hit somebody.
Council President Brian Beggs told me the City Council is discussing ways to make up for the community's need and ask for the return of traffic officers, including the installation of speed radar cameras near parks. But right now, state law only allows them near schools. Now, join me back here tonight at 5, and I'll share when the Spokane Police Department anticipates the return of those traffic enforcement officers. Reporting near Manitou Park tonight, Amanda Rowley, KREM 2 News.
All right, Amanda, thank you very much. That's a great story. Sure. I was a little distracted by the beauty there of Manitou Park, because it really is. There aren't very many places that are more beautiful this time of year.
Yeah, I live in that area, and I'm seeing it. And you know, it's funny, we were talking yesterday about how long we'll get to see the colors because of the leaf fall. I said probably like another 2 weeks. Maybe we need to shorten that now.
No.
I saw a lot of leaf fall today.
Is that because it's getting colder?
I think so. I think it's a combination of the much shorter days. We're losing so much daylight now. Sunset at 16, and then of course we're also getting temperatures now that are dropping down close to freezing. That's a live look outside. We're at 58 degrees. Thankfully not much in the wind department there, just 3-mile-per-hour winds. Rain is well to the south of us and to the east of us right now. There's a closer look. So we're seeing a few showers kind of moving up through the Idaho Palouse and then into the mountains of the north central Idaho and into the panhandle of Idaho, up around Deary, Washington, or Deary, Idaho. You're seeing a little bit of light rain falling there. Tomorrow we'll look for mostly sunny skies with a high of 59. It's going to be a chilly start again with widespread frost. Not nearly as cold Sunday. Why? Meaning Sunday morning, because we've got rain and wind headed our way. Could see wind gusts to 30 to 35 miles per hour. That's going to blow a lot of the leaves off the trees, and we'll see a daytime high of 58 with rain at times. I'll check your 7-day forecast coming up in a few minutes.
All right, Tom, thank you very much. Congresswoman Kathy McMorris Rogers has tested positive for COVID, but she is considered a breakthrough case because she is also fully vaccinated. Her staff says she tested positive yesterday, but only had mild symptoms and is now quarantining at home. She says her offices in Spokane, Walla Walla, Colville, and Washington, D.C. will stay open. She also added that she is encouraging everyone across Eastern Washington to talk to their doctors about getting the vaccine.
Pfizer is now looking to get their COVID-19 vaccine in the arms of young kids. Yesterday, the company applied for emergency use authorization for kids ages 5 to 11 years old. Now, if approved, the shot could be available within a matter of weeks. Now, the Food and Drug Administration must decide if there's enough evidence that the shots are safe and will work for these ages. A Spokane pediatrician we spoke to says the news is exciting for her because she's getting questions about the vaccine, not only from parents, but also from a surprising source as well.
We even have kids asking when they can get the shot, which if you know anything about pediatrics, they very rarely want the shots. So that's an exciting time too.
So if approved, Pfizer plans to give kids a low-dose version of its regular adult shots. That version would be about a third of amount of the adult dose. Right now, only children 12 and over are able to get vaccinated against COVID-19. Well, nearly 20 Washington state workers have filed a lawsuit against Governor Inslee and the city of Spokane over the state vaccine mandate. The lawsuit claims the governor's COVID-19 vaccination mandate violates the contract between workers and the state. It cites the workers' exemption requests were accepted, but their employer provided no accommodation or reassignment. Grant Wolf is one of 2 lawyers representing those workers.
18 months ago, my clients were told they were essential workers. They were people who were putting their lives on the line, going out before we really had any information about this virus. They were told that they were essential, and in 2 weeks, they're about to be discarded from that same position. And the goal is to prevent that from happening.
Wolf says he expects more plaintiffs across Washington will be added to the complaint against the state.
Spokane Regional Health District presented a new detailed timeline today of the origins of the coronavirus vaccine, hoping to dispel some of the misinformation out there. The process actually began back in 1930 when the very first coronavirus was discovered. Flash forward to 1994 when the first mRNA vaccine research was published. Then in 2003, the SARS coronavirus outbreak then prompted vaccine research again. By 2016, the SARS-1 coronavirus vaccine was created. By 2019, the SARS-CoV-2 virus was isolated, and vaccine trials for that virus started in 2020. The FDA approved both Pfizer and Moderna's COVID vaccines that same year. Then we get to this year when the first mRNA vaccine for this coronavirus received full approval from the FDA.
Well, get ready, Zags fans. Craziness in the Kennel is back this weekend. No tickets are available, but that doesn't mean you can't still get your first glimpse of the 2021 men's basketball team. It's going to be live streamed online. Yeah, all the action starts at 1 o'clock tomorrow. And of course, our Brenna Green will have highlights right after the Alabama and Texas A&M football game here on KREM 2.
Meanwhile, in Pullman, Cougs are going to need to bring proof of COVID vaccination to Giesa Field if they want to attend the WSU homecoming game on Saturday. So Cougs will need to bring proof of vaccination if they want to go. Any fans over 12 will also need to bring a vaccine card or a negative COVID test that is within 72 hours of game time. Kiosks to approve entry will open 3 hours before kickoff. Masks are also required. As Cougs are playing Oregon State, kickoff is at 1 o'clock.
So we know this is an awful lot of information and the requirements are tough to keep track of. So to make things a little bit easier for you, we'll send a link right to your phone that has more information on this. All you have to do is text us the word COVID to 509-448-2000.
Trying to make it as easy as possible.
As easy as possible.
All right, still to come here on KREM 2 News at 4. A giant pumpkin patch is in town. Of course it is. It's the perfect time of year to help raise money also for local kids. So we're going to show you around the Brick West Pumpkin Fest and introduce you to our newest reporter. There she is. We're back after the break.